Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Captain Ishita and I welcome you on board License to Fly, a show that brings to you fascinating insights, stories from ace pilots and aviation veterans. So if you're an aspiring pilot or an aviation enthusiast, fasten your seatbelts and let's take off. For today's episode of License to Fly, joining us are Captain Jaskiran Kaur and Captain Rajiv Patish, two very experienced and reputed pilots working with IndiGo who will be sharing with us their perspectives on life as a pilot. While Captain Jaskiran has been with IndiGo for a little over 7 years, she has clocked in around 4,000 hours of flying, whereas Captain Rajiv, an ace pilot who joined IndiGo in 2011 and has over 13,000 hours of flying under his belt. He's also a veteran from the Indian Air Force. I wholeheartedly welcome you both to this unique, first of its kind show, License to Fly.
Thank you so much, Captain Ishita. It's great to be here.
Thanks. And we're happy to be here today.
So let's take it from the top. What inspired you both to become pilots?
Since my father was in the Indian Air Force, I grew up in a world with all things aviation. He was my biggest inspiration. But my first air travel experience also sealed the deal for me. From there onwards, I became really fascinated with how airports worked, how the pilots looked so stunning in their uniforms, how magnificent the jets looked up close. So I just knew I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a pilot.
Great. And how about you, Captain Rajiv?
Honestly, Ishita, it was a childhood dream, and probably it was the uniform of the Indian Air Force and the way these guys came on the Republic Day parade, the men and the officers, that fascinated me. And of course, back in the years 60s and early 70s, I did see a couple of movies in which Air Force was glorified. It was a mix of all these that I thought of the Air Force and as a pilot, and here I am.
Great, wonderful. So as you know, my dad was also in the Air Force, so I can so relate to all of that. So there is another common point about the three of us. We fly the same aircraft. How about you, Captain Rajiv? What other aircrafts have you flown?
Oh, Ishita, number of aeroplanes. Being in the Air Force, I did fly plenty. Started with the gliders, then I went to the HT2, then Kirans, Iskaras, then after the Hunter, then the three variants of MiG-21s. Then I came to the Jaguar. Then again I became an instructor on the Kirans, and finally I signed off flying the Jaguar and the MiG-21 together at one base. Every airplane has its own charm. Airplane which gave me the best feel was the Kiran. It is a versatile trainer. It can do lots. It's fully aerobatic and easy to fly. Of course, it can spin. So it's been a very good experience on the Kiran.
But really, what a unique experience to have. So my next question is to Captain Jaskiran. What do your day-to-day responsibilities as a pilot look like?
So first and foremost is to be punctual, to be on time. And of course, as a captain, you'd want everyone to be together, make sure it's a well-coordinated, unified effort amongst those who are involved in the safety and the comfort of our passengers. Passengers are our top priority, so we try and offer the best customer service.
What about other challenges like flying in adverse weather conditions? How do we cope up with that?
Well, like you said, it is a challenge, but we at IndiGo have high training standards, and beside the training, of course, we have the help of our colleagues and our standard operating procedures, which really help us brace any challenge altogether.
What are the other challenges that we face as pilots other than flying in adverse weather conditions?
An aeroplane flies about 16 hours out of the 24-hour cycle, and pilots fly about 9 to 10 hours. And in between, you may have a change of aeroplanes. So it's a big day when you pack your bags in the morning and go to the aircraft. And then you have to work around the rosters, because rosters give you the kind of flying you do. And then we have the on-type performance, OTP, and such like demands. And for all this, you need to prepare yourselves, train yourself, and be sure that every time you do the same work again and again, the same precision.
Captain Jaskiran, in all emergencies, we care for the safety and security of our passengers. But in unaccounted for situations, what protocols do you follow?
Well, firstly would be to remain calm and avoid any knee-jerk reactions. With training and with experience, we are well equipped to handle such situations.
We all agree that first thing is in any such a situation to fly the aeroplane. And once you've got the aeroplane under your control, then the next thing is where am I going? About my navigation, whether I going to the correct destination, to the correct side, or correct direction, find the correct height, am I flying at the correct speed? So that is the navigation. And then next comes to communication. And I must check with my other pilot what is happening, communicate, find out a common ground, also inform my cabin, and then of course talk to my passengers and take help from the radars and the people on ground, and also inform my company. But by and large, these things of following the dictum of flying the aeroplane, then navigating and communicating should see you through in most of the cases.
Definitely. I think that's a golden piece of advice. My next question is related to technology. What are the recent technological advancements that you've seen in flying?
Well, along with the enhanced automation and the regular updates that we get, I'm sure that Kapu Rajiv would also agree that the major breakthrough we've seen is to be able to see our charts and our documentation in an electronic format. That reduces paperwork and is more environment friendly, so I'm a big fan of that.
The technology of flying the airplane from basic push and pull rods, which could have failed for various reasons, are today on to fly-by-wire system. And then because the engines are so good, their performance is better, and we've cut down on the use of hydrocarbons by almost 15 to 20%, reducing the carbon footprint, and which is going in a big way to make the environment much richer. So technology has been a big boost to aviation industry.
Great. So we are saving fuel and reducing our carbon footprint. So pilot's first solo flight is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's one of those before and after moments. Do you remember yours, and could you share with us?
Oh, it's been a long time, 44 years back, when I signed for the first time, and signing for it meant a big responsibility. I still remember how my hands were shaking when I signed for the aeroplane and my instructor told me to go for the flight. I didn't believe that I could do things on my own, but my instructor was very sure that I could land the aeroplane. And of course, once I got airborne, for some time, say about a minute or two, I felt very uneasy that how come I'm not hearing anybody? Where's that instructor gone? Then I started getting all the instructions that he gave me, and I suppose that was the God's own voice guiding me that everything is fine, my boy, just enjoy it, and you're going to embark on a career which is going to be a lifetime for you. Of course, the landing was nice. Everyone was very happy. Of course, I was at the top of the world, that I had achieved the first milestone towards my great career. And that was a very special day for me.
In fact, they have a saying that if you know you're going to go solo the next day, you can't sleep that night because you're having all the jitters and the butterflies.
Having gone solo, you can sleep like a log.
Like a baby, of course, like a log.
Okay, last one before I let you go. What is the one piece of advice you would give to aspiring pilots?
Besides your uniform, you need to carry the best attitude to work every single day. After all, only a few get this chance to fly a beautiful machine like an aircraft.
Okay, if I were to give an advice to a young pilot or an aspiring pilot, let's start with the person who wants to join this profession. I would say, please don't join the profession for the money that you look at it. Please join it for the passion, for the love of flying. Only then you'll be happy being a pilot. Do not take shortcuts. Remember, man was never designed or born to fly. And then we decided to have our own wings. So we manufactured the wings to fly. Do not defy the nature and always respect the weather. You have old pilots, you have bold pilots, but we don't have old and bold pilots. Thank you.
That'll be all for today. Thank you both for joining me today and being so candid about it all.
My pleasure, and thanks for a good coffee.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Pleasure's been mine. Soon we will be taking off another journey to explore the world of aviation with another guest, another topic, and bring you some more insights and exciting stories. Until then, this is Captain Nishita signing off.